Alrighty, let's go. Welcome back into the Skooshi Sport Podcast and your Skooshi Sports Report, your Global Sports Roundup, where I bring you the latest sporting news from around the globe in the last week, featuring a lot of sports around the world, and yet again, another week of just epic sporting moments, results, theatricals. It's all bloody happening in the sporting world, no matter what bloody month of the year it is. Where it pretty much feels like we're in the middle of silly season at the moment. You know, for me, like, footy season is like, off season is right in the thick of it right now. We've got transfers happening all over the stuff, new contracts, all that sort of jazz. But that means cricket season is in full swing now. NBA, NHL, NFL's in full swing at the moment. All your golf and tennis seasons are just finishing up. Your rugby season's just finished up as well. But still plenty of sports to cover. And that's what I'm here to do for you guys all today. So yesterday, if you missed it, I had my NRL video, the big burning question for every single NRL club for 2026. I give one big burning question for all 17 clubs, every single club heading into 2026, and I answer them all with my opinion on what I think and what I think these teams need to do to have some sort of to succeed next year. So tomorrow, obviously, I'll have my Red Zone report for Week 13 as well, and the NFL, my NFL weekly preview as well. One of the favorite podcasts of the week, so make sure you go check it out. And make sure you give this video and a massive like and a subscribe to the channel as well. Make sure you're following all my socials at Skooshi Sports. That's SKOOSHI Sports, all one word, on your socials, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter /X, all of the above. It's all there, your daily reels for all your opinions and sort of daily sporting chat. All right, let's get straight into it. We've got plenty to talk about on this episode. We have got our Women's Player of the Week for the Skooshi Sport Podcast. Then we're going to talk into our final bit of rugby union chat for the year. Talk a bit into the cricket. The Ashes is underway, which is so bloody exciting. Then we're going to kick off into some darts as well. The darts results just keep on coming before the World Championships in a couple weeks. Then we're going to cross into our American sports. So talk about a bit of NBA, NHL, and I'm going to chat a bit about NFL at the end as well, with just 6 weeks left to go in the NFL regular season, 2/3 of the way done before playoffs. Is just unreal how fast it goes. But let's get straight into it. My favorite segment of the week, and that is my Women's Player of the Week. Quick drink break. If you want to know, Pepsi Max. All right, let's get straight into it. Last week, we had a golfer, a ladies golfer, super talented, had a win on the LPGA Tour. Now, we're going to go to another golfer this week. 2 golfers in a row. I don't think we've had 2 ladies from the same sport 2 weeks in a row, but it's just so many incredible results happening on the LPGA Tour at the moment. It's just so good to see. And I couldn't go past this golfer this week. She is just absolutely lighting it up. Not just this week, but the whole bloody year in the last 2 years as well. And my Women's Player of the Week is Gino Thittikul from Thailand in golf. So she is the current world number 1 on the Rolex Ladies World Golf Rankings at the moment. At just 22 years old. 22 years old. Are we having a laugh here? There's some literal like Tiger Woods shit that's happening here right now. 22 years old and world number 1. She has just won back-to-back of the CME Group Tour Championship in Naples, Florida. So literally their massive end-of-season championship that they have for the LPGA Tour. She had 3 bogeys across 4 rounds. It's just bonkers. I think she went bogey-free in round 2, and then she had 1 bogey in round 1, 3, and 4. Unreal. 3 bogeys across 72 holes. She won by 4 shots at, get this, 26 under par. Let me say that again. Won by 4 strokes at 26 under par. Unbelievable golf. Past 72, she went 67, 63, 64, and 68. She backed up a 63 9 under with an 8 under 64, 17 under across 2 rounds. She has 6-shot lead going to the last round and had a very solid 4 under par 68. She also has broken the single season scoring record, scoring average for a record, like the record for a season, which was originally set by Annika Sorensen, who I spoke about last week, is like the GOAT of ladies golf, I think. She had this year 68.68. Do you guys know how bloody hard golf is? I bet some of you guys listening to this right now haven't even broken 68 for 9 holes, let alone 68.68 across 18 holes in that whole season at LPGA Tour setup style courses. Just unbelievable golf. No wonder she's world number 1. She obviously received the Rolex Player of the Year title from that as well. Also received the VAR trophy, which is the lowest scoring average for the season. Obviously, she's got the record now for the LPGA Tour. Absolutely insane. Her stats from the week that was. So, she only missed 7 fairways for the whole week. Her swing is absolutely pure. The tempo is unreal. Just like these frozen ropes. Like, when I mean frozen rope, just so straight. Like, it's just unbelievable. Missed 7 fairways for the whole week. Missed 9 greens for the whole week in regulation. 63 out of 72. And from there, had 107 putts. So, what down average? Like, under 27 a round? Are we kidding ourselves here? It's under 27 putts around and hitting 63 greens of regulation. So what's that? She also had 29 birdies for the week. I don't think she had an eagle. 29 birdies for the week out of 72 holes. That is just unbelievable golf. Easily deserved for my Women's Player of the Week. Gino Thidakul from Thailand, 22 years old, world number 1 in ladies golf at the moment. Back-to-back CME Group Tour champion. Unreal golf. Congratulations to Gino Thidakul, my Women's Player of the Week, winning by 4 at 26 under par. Unbelievable golf. All right, let's get down to the nitty and gritty. We're going to start with the Rugby Union, and we have finished pretty much our final sort of round or leg of the Northern Tour, end of year tour. So where a lot of the Southern Hemisphere teams go to Europe and the UK, and they play those teams sort of 3-4 weeks in succession. So the All Blacks this year had the chance to do essentially the UK Grand Slam. So they had the chance to play Ireland, Scotland, England, and Wales. So do all 4 countries in the UK. It's a massive, massive achievement to beat all 4 teams in the UK. Unfortunately, they lost last week to England, but they have gone 3 out of 4. They have beaten Wales this week 52-26. Don't get me wrong, I am 100% here to say Wales are nowhere near the ability they were 5-10 years ago. I think they've won like 2 of the last 19 games now or something, which is, I don't know what's happened with Wales rugby. Haven't really kept track of it, but such a downfall from grace, man. Like, I remember when they were in the playoffs, like the finals of like a World Cup, and now their defense is horrible and just nowhere near it. All Blacks made 12 changes to their starting 15 from the game that was last week against England. We were big favourites in this game, guys. I think we were 26.5 point favourites from what I saw. So Wales did actually cover this, but we did score our fair share of points. I said we made 12 changes. We had changes to a whole back line, I'm pretty sure. I think there was just a few in like the front row in the front forward pack that just sort of stayed on for another week. Scott Barrett, I think Fabian Holland, that sort of thing. But I said the whole back line essentially changed. So essentially it was that B team against this Wales team. But I still expected better. You know what I mean? I still expect our B team to absolutely smash Wales. The frightening thing is still conceding 26 points. And you know what? It was a 3-point game early in the second half. Like, very, very frustrating year, and just not what I'm used to as a guy that supports the All Blacks and what I was raised on. So used to, almost winning every game every year. I get it. That sounds so precious from me. Oh, you win every game every single year. That's just the expectation when rugby union is the number 1 sport in the country. It's just the expectation when we've won back-to-back World Cups, when we've won the Bledisloe for what, 25 years in a row now, something like that. And just, we usually beat these teams, and even our wins this year, I haven't really been that impressed by. I think we've had really one solid game this year, and that was against South Africa at Eden Park. But since then, I just think it's been pretty plain and ugly. We've had a loss against Argentina this year. Also had that pretty bad loss against England as well. And of course, that shocking record-breaking loss against South Africa in Wellington as well. The start of the second halves are so concerning. It's unbelievable. Just the discipline from the All Blacks. It's just going absolutely down the drain. But review of the game. We started pretty well though. Honestly, like 2 minutes in, or 4 minutes in, put a nice move down the left side there from D-Mac. Get a good pass from Ruben Love, who started at fullback, who plays for the Hurricanes. Caleb Clark scores the first try of the game, which is good to see. But then 10 minutes in, like D-Mac, Damien McKenzie started at fly half this game. I think we know from previous episodes, I'm not the biggest fan of Damien McKenzie at number 10. Just can't really control the game, I think, like Bowden Barrett does. Don't get me wrong, he kicked 8 out of 8, and I was absolutely just horrified at how bad his kicking was in Perth against the Wallabies. Severely cost us, I think, maybe 10 points off the boot there. Good to see him go 8 from 8, which is really good, but Wales put up this box kick in like the 10th minute, right? And just like Dane McKenzie jumps up and just get complete out jumped by Louis Rees-Zammit on the wing there. And then Wales get quick ball, go to left, and defense on the right wing was just absolutely nowhere. And it didn't happen once. It didn't happen twice. It happened 3 fucking times that Will Jordan on the right wing got caught out on defense. That had so many men overlapping on the left. Was not even funny all bloody game. Tom Rogers scored a hat-trick. Tom Rogers, the left winger for Wales, scored a hat-trick in this game. The first 3 tries for Wales in this game all belong to Tom Rogers. And easy bloody tries as well, I will admit. I'm a big fan and big advocate for Will Jordan to be a fullback in this All Blacks team. I don't think he is a right winger or a winger whatsoever. I would rather have your Lester Fine-Gakanukus in there. Even maybe a Severies, that sort of thing. Plenty of other options, I believe, that will suit up way better on the wing than Will Jordan. I get it. It was our B team. Just still not a fan. So 10-7 up until the first half. A really good individual try by Ruben Love. I am a big fan of this guy. Fullback for the Hurricanes. Just got some early ball inside the Wales 22 and just completely steps this flanker inside and then scores under the sticks. Absolutely love it. But again, just really poor defense from the All Blacks continually on this right side. The 3 tries by Tom Rogers were so bloody easy. It's just not even funny. We went into halftime in this one up 24-14 this one. And no different to our other games. Up in the first half, looking pretty good. Then you think, okay, let's put them away in the second half. But shock me. Fucking shock me. Once again, early try conceded in the second half. Just like against England, just like against Scotland, just bloody frustrating. It's just annoying the shit out of me in these last few years. These 20-minute segments after halftime, it's just nightmare fuel for us. I don't know what is going on at halftime. I think Scott Robinson is under immense pressure. I don't see the All Blacks making a coaching change before the World Cup in 2027, though. It's not something they usually do. It would be a massive move if they did it. I just can't see it. Anyway, after that Wales try in the second half earlier, it was 24-21, as I said. 3-point game with essentially a full half of footy rugby left to go. We got pretty blessed sort of in the second half. Wales did have 2 yellow cards. I guess against in the rugby rules these days, they're both pretty fair for a yellow card. We took advantage of both those yellow cards. They sort of came in like succession. So one was as the other man was coming back on. So Wales are essentially playing with 14 men in that second half for 20 minutes. We did take advantage. We did score twice, I believe, or maybe even 3 times when they were down to 14 men from memory there. Some really good hands to the right side. Severies scored a double in the corner. He absolutely stepped the fuck out of this guy in the second half for a second try. Just absolutely bamboozled him. It was pretty good to see, I won't lie. But, my big thing, Cam Roygaard didn't even start in this game. I'm a massive fan of Cam Roygaard, and it made such a difference, just the speed of ball out of play. Cortez Ratuma, Finlay Christie, they can do a job, but if we're talking about All Black standards, it's just not like Cam Roygaard. But as I said, we're probably fortunate to be playing on a Wales team on a day like this. Look, no complaints. 152-26. I think All Blacks have a lot to work on heading into mid-year next year. They'll have a bit of a break now over Christmas, and then the Super Rugby gets started, I think, in February, that sort of thing. So, going to be very interesting to see how this All Blacks team is looking at sort of May, June next year. Defensively, I have so much to work on. These second halves are so concerning. I'll have to look at what our lowest amount of points that we sort of conceded was. I know we conceded not that many against Australia, but in Perth, but that was a very windy and rainy game. But even then, they contended us against Perth. They contended us in Auckland. We beat South Africa 1-1, got smashed in the second game. Argentina was 1-1 as well. Very concerning game against Ireland. Very concerning game against England. We nearly lost against Scotland, letting them back into the game in the second half. And even this game against Wales, we should be doing a whole lot better. And we're just not. And it's just so bloody frustrating. Even at the end, we conceded to Wales with them having 14 men. Good try by Louis Rissamet, super talent, but we should not be conceding to a Wales team that have 14 men. And as I said, conceding 26 points to a team like this is just not good enough for me. Just not good enough. I get it. We scored 52. Cool. There's no point scoring 52 if you're going to concede 26 as well against a team like Wales at the moment, who are pretty bad. And honestly, they're not a good team. And we scored some pretty easy tries as well, but they scored some fair, easy tries as well. So that is it for All Blacks rugby this year. I said we win 8 or 9, lost 3. I would be calling an unsuccessful year because some of those wins are pretty B grade in my opinion. I said a lot to work on for the mighty All Blacks heading into 2026. All right, heading into France and Australia. This team, man, holy dooly, their defense has just gone to shit. They did get the cover. Australia did get the cover. They lost 48-33 against France. Australia have conceded 145 points in their last 4 games for the year. Just over 36 points a game. 94 points in their last 2 matches. Conceded 48 against France and 46 against Ireland last week. They've lost their last 7 of 8. Ever since that they beat South Africa, it's just been a train wreck. Absolute train wreck. Not good at all for sort of Argentina. That one win was against Japan as well. Bloody Japan. Ever since they lost against Argentina in Sydney, I think it was, it has been terrible for the Wallabies. They were in it though, 19 all at half time, and then the second half, man, France just scored some very easy tries. They scored 1 try, and they were literally almost 4-0, 4-1 maybe. Like, how do you get into a 4-1 situation? I will never know. Their big marquee signing, Joseph Suaalii, I gave so much praise to him in the Rugby Championship. Looked like he was finally finding his feet in rugby, and he got hooked after about 50-55 minutes in this game. Not to because he was injured or to rest, he was genuinely that bad, and it's just turning into a bit of nightmare for the Wallabies at the moment. Home World Cup coming up in less than 2 years as well. They've got plenty of work to do for their marquee signing, who is going to be a huge part of the 2027 World Cup campaign. I would be shocked if they got out of the group stage at the moment at the Home World Cup. Going to be very interesting to see. I do know South Africa also got the win against Ireland. I forgot what the score. I think it was 26-16 there. So good wins for South Africa. They've had a pretty successful year. They do have one more game that's scheduled. They do play Wales next week. They're 37.5 point favourites. So I think they will be fine in that one there. All right, heading over to the cricket, and we are in the middle of the summer of cricket at the moment. The Ashes has begun. You love to see it. Let me have a quick drink. And the first test over at Perth started on Friday, and the first time since literally like the 1890s or something, a test has finished in just 2 days. 2 bloody days. Can you believe it? What was it? 32 wickets in 2 days. Unbelievable. 19 on the first day. Australia win the first test by 8 wickets. They got 132 and then 2 for 205. And then England had all that from 172 and 164. England did win the toss. Ben Stokes decided to take the bat in this game. Said it was a good batting pitch. Didn't appear to be that way. Zach Crawley got rolled in the first over. He walks off with a pair in this game, so he has not scored a run yet in the Ashes. Out in the first over in both innings off Stark, which is pretty bloody embarrassing. The 2 men of the moment for Australia in this game. Man of the match, Mitchell Stark, taking 10 wickets in this match. 7 for 58 in the first innings, and then 3 for 55 in the second innings. Absolutely killed the English in that first innings. Some sublime bowling. He was bowling fast. He was hitting his points. Some really good bowling for Mitchell Stark, despite Hazelwood and Cummins being out. Just really proved he can step up to a situation. Even after he's been in this team for so many years, people say he's old. People say he's done. Mate, he just got 10 wickets in an Ashes test match. Absolutely killed England. Absolutely flew through them. Big wicket in the second innings was bowling Joe Root. Absolutely just Joe Root. Joe Root. Absolutely straight through the gates. Boland took 4 in that second innings. I think Doggett took 3 as well. Doggett took 3 in the first innings as well. Really good debut by Brendan Doggett. He should be pretty happy with that one there. Also, Travis Head. Oh my goodness gracious me. He opens the batting in the second innings instead of Usman Khawaja, who's battling back spasms at the moment. Could be the end of the test career for Usman Khawaja as well, potentially. Will he be lining up at the Gabba? I don't think he will be, even if he's injured. I don't think he will be. I don't think he will in Adelaide. I don't think he will in Melbourne. I don't think he will in Sydney. When especially you got someone like Bo Webster to come back, that sort of thing. Travis Head, though, holy dooly, opens the batting in the second innings, smashes a century off 69 balls to 100%, put the game away for Australia, ends up getting out near the end for 123 of 83 balls. And this innings I watched it ball by ball, and he started nice and slow, just got into the rhythm. I think he was off, he was 3 off 14 or something, and then next minute before you know it, he was 25 of 25. Just like that. So bloody quick. I think he got his first century, his half century in 46 balls, and then got his next half century in 24 balls. Just smashing it everywhere. Some of the shots were just sublime. Didn't try to go too heavy. Just really hit the gap so well. What an impressive innings. The second fastest century by an Australian in the Ashes. Adam Gilchrist is first back in 2005, I want to say, off, was it 51 balls or something? The big thing for me, though, is England were at this point in a point in a match where they're actually favourites to win this. In the second innings, they had a lead of about 100. They were 1 for 63 at lunch on day 2. Pretty in control, right? A lead of 100 with 9 wickets left to spare. They proceed after lunch to lose 5 for 23. That was the absolute turning point of the match. Scott Boland finally took some wickets. Mitchell Stark contributed as well there. And they just absolutely collapsed. Ended up getting all out for 164. As I said, being 1 for 63 at lunch. Just bad batting. And you know what? I want to say that on Australia's part as well in the first innings. The first innings from both these teams was shocking. Absolutely shocking. And I think T20 has killed a lot of the test batting. A lot of the patience. Some of those batting shots, his choices were just awful. Alex Carey got out just before the end of day 1 with it's a T20 shot. Just a ball he could have left. It's shocking. It's just some really bad shot-making decisions by both teams in the first innings and England as well in the second innings. Just, really poor, and just made me think, has T20, 2020 cricket kind of ruined, how patient and, the fundamentals of test cricket, where it requires so much patience, where if you need to be, 10 runs off 70, 80 balls, you can be, but if you can battle and get a half century and get into your rhythm, it's absolutely worth it in the end. The main thing is, for me, it's 5 days, and this finished in 2 days. Just stay in. Just stay in. Keep your wicket. And to lose wickets so easily like that, it completely costs England. I get it. Bazball. Bazball's awesome. We got 5 runs and over, and we finish on at the end of day one. We'll finish 7 down for 400. That's just, if it doesn't work, it's go to shit. They can't even score 400 runs for the match, and it just completely costs them. Look, I thought in the first innings they bowled pretty bloody well, England, and then the batting just completely let them down. So it'd be super interesting to see how the second test at the Gabba goes. It is a day-nighter. It doesn't start until next Friday, so we still have a bit of time, good week and a half before this one does get underway. Does look like Josh Hazlewood may even be out for the summer. Has looked like x-rays or MRIs come back. Maybe a tendon in the hamstring that he has torn. If that is the case, he will probably be out for all of the Ashes, which is a huge opportunity for Scott Boland. Paddy Cummins may look like he's coming back for the second test. If not, he will definitely be back for the Adelaide test. Maybe it was, I'm not sure whether it's a good thing it finished in 2 days, but obviously it sounds like he's tracking along really nicely, coming back maybe a bit quicker than what he thought. Are they in a position where they need to rush him back? No, I don't think so. After that first performance, Australia, I think, are really in the box seat after that first test. I would be thinking Australia's going to be closer to winning 4-1, 4-0, 5-0 than losing this Ashes series. I think England have a massive hill to climb in this one after that first test. They had a prime opportunity to go and win that first test, and they just completely blew it. And just going to be interesting to see the team that they name, the squad that they name for Test 2. Does Zach Crawley get another shot after getting a pair in the first test? I'm not so sure. I don't think that bowling was that bad. I just sort of worry about the fitness as well. The paces in the second innings dropped massively, 4 or 5 Ks an hour, which makes a huge difference to for a lot of these Australian batsmen. So going to be interesting to see. I think the only change you'll see for the second test for Australia is Bo Webster coming in for Usman Khawaja and coming into bat about number 5, I think, with Cam Green coming at 6. Then you've got another sort of all-rounder there as well to do a little bit of bowling. All right. A little bit more cricket chat. New Zealand playing West Indies in New Zealand at the moment. They just played an ODI series of 3 games. New Zealand whitewashed them 3-0 in that one there. This time last week, the first ODI just been played. They played the second one the day after I had the podcast. They won that one by 5 wickets, and then they played on Saturday and won the third one by 4 wickets. So nice 3-0 whitewash of the West Indies in New Zealand there, and then they get 3 tests underway starting on the 2nd of December, which is, that is a great question when that is. Next Tuesday? Must be in a week, so maybe next Wednesday. They've got 3 tests in the summer, and then I want to say India are playing them, but I'm not confident about that. But we have got the Big Bash starting on the 14th of December, just a tick under 3 weeks away, which is pretty exciting. Something to watch at night time, finally. I really do miss my footy, if you can't tell. All right. Moving out along, and we've got a bit of darts chat. And to no one's surprise, Luke Littler, the world number 1, who won last week in the Grand Slam to become world number 1, wins yet again. This guy just shits out wins for fun. Wins the Players' Championship this week, just a few days ago. That is a major televised event by the PDC. He now moves into 4th all-time for televised event wins, and he's 18. Are we having a laugh? He's 4th now all-time. I think he's won 7 televised events. Just crazy. It's just insane what he can do. Just popping out 180s, these massive checkouts. It's just insane what he does. He just toys with his opponents for fun. The Players' Championship is the top 64 from the season just gone in the order of merit, so he was obviously quite up there. There's essentially 6 rounds. It's just knockout, right, similar to how tennis works. So there's round 1, 2, 3, and then your quarters, semi, and finals. So your round 1 and round 2 are best of 11 legs, so first to 6. Your round 3 is first to 10 legs, so it's the quarterfinal. And then your semi and your final is first to 11, so best of 21. He absolutely cruised through the first 3 rounds, absolutely blitzed his opponents. And in the quarterfinals, he won 10-5 against Chris Dobie. He's won his semi-final 11-8 against German Price. So I forgot to mention, in the quarterfinal, he averaged nearly 108, which is just unbeatable, I think. Semi-final averages 108.5 against Gerwin Price to win 11-8. And then in the final averages 103, but still wins 11-8 against Nathan Aspinall. He is absolutely flying with form heading into World Darts Championship starting in about 2 weeks. He was 210 last week when I talked about the odds to defend the championship, and now he's $2. So he is looking pretty bloody handy to defend his title. That starts the 11th of December, so literally in just over 2 weeks' time. Pretty bloody excited for that one there. In other darts news, I actually went to this on Saturday night in Brisbane, and this was so cool to watch. My first ever darts event live, and the atmosphere was so cool, just like what similar to you see in UK, singing all the songs, your whole 190. The atmosphere was bloody sick. I went with my dad. It was just so cool to go with him. He absolutely loves his darts. Big reason why I love my darts as well. And we got to see Simon the Wizard Whitlock, been in the darts arena for so long now, win the ANZ Premier League to qualify for the World Darts Championship, as said, starting in 2 weeks. So the ANZ Premier League ran over about 8 weekends across all of Australia. Sort of like you just talk about how many sort of nights you won, so you sort of play a lot of opponents. Then it came down to you had 8 players in the Premier League. The top 4 advanced to the final, which was just in Brisbane on Saturday night. It was 1v4 from those standings and 2v3. In those semi-finals, it was first to 8 legs, so best of 15. And then in the final, it was best of 19, so first to 10. He beat the number 1 darts player in New Zealand, Joey Tata, in the semi 8-3. He played some awesome darts, looked pretty much in form and in control. And then he beat the number 1 player going into that final, which is Raymond Smith, who'd been playing some very, very good darts. He beat him 10-7 in that final to advance to the World Darts Championship. Massive congratulations, Simon the Wizard Whitlock. Massive long hair, massive beard as well. Absolutely so cool to see all the walkouts. You know, he played Down Under as his theme song, walking out. It was just so cool to actually be there. The atmosphere was unreal. Cannot wait to go in the future, and also to Ali Pally for the World Darts Championship. All right, let's talk about American sport quickly. We'll obviously do my regular weekly NBA and NHL sort of check-in. So another week of NBA has flown and gone by. We're sort of a month into the season now. MVP odd-wise, we haven't really seen too much movement. So Joker is still the slight favorite with SGA at second favorite there. Luka is still sitting there at $5. Giannis is still sitting there at 16th. He has not played since this time last week. The other two I don't really sort of talk about. Like Tyrese Maxey's coming from $71 to $46, which is a little bit of movement. Kay Cunningham still at 61s. Still think it's between those top 3 there. Jokic is playing absolute alien level at the moment. Every game is getting at least a double-double, if not a triple-double. Such a key integral part of this Denver Nuggets team. If we're looking at the Eastern Conference, we've still got the Detroit Pistons on top of the Eastern Conference. They have not lost in the last week. They have now won 13 on the bounce. Can you bloody believe it? 15-2. Unreal to see where Detroit Pistons team has come from in the last few years. Still got the Cavs coming. Oh, actually, excuse me, not the Cavs coming second. They were 10-5 last week. They are now 12-7, so they've gone 2-2 in the last week. The surprise packet for me is the Toronto Raptors. They have now won 8 in a row on the bounce, being the Cavs today. Actually, they now sit 13-5. They were 9-5 last week when we chatted, so they've won 4 games in the last week. You've now got the Miami Heat. They're absolutely charging. They've won 5 in a row as well. 8-2 in their last 10. Sitting at 12-6. Third on the Eastern Conference. Cavs are now 4th in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks, they're still hanging around at 10-6. Atlanta Hawks, they've dropped a couple games. I think they've just gone 2-2 in the last week, sitting in the top 6 still. And then your same teams of like your Sixers, Magic, Bulls, and Celtics sort of round out the rest of the play-in sort of spots. The Bucks are still without Giannis, so I think he's going to be coming back sometime this week, potentially. Got that groin injury. They said 1 to 2 weeks. It has been over a week now. I suspect him to assume he'll be back near the end of the week. The Bucks without Giannis are one of the worst teams in the league, in my opinion. They are pretty bloody bad. They need him back so desperately. I actually have big questions about him getting traded, whether it's during the season, whether it's in the next off season. I'm not sure if he will be there at the Bucks next year. I'm very curious to see. Not much else to talk about in the Eastern Conference there. Nets and the Pacers, they had 1 win each. Woo! But the Washington Wizards have now lost 14 games in a row. They are now sitting at 1-15, sitting bottom of the league. Pretty bloody sad. All right, if we look at the Western Conference, no shock to anyone. OKC keep on winning the damn thing. They've now won 9 in a row after that surprise loss to the Blazers about 2 weeks ago. Sitting at 17-1, the best record in the NBA at the moment. Denver Nuggets still sitting second on the Eastern Conference, 13-4. They had a surprise loss at home against the Chicago Bulls last week. I think I may have mentioned that in the podcast last week. And they're not playing the best ball at the moment. They had another loss in there in between now and then as well. I forgot who that was too. A really good team, I think, at the moment, playing at the moment, is the Houston Rockets. They have beaten... Who they just beat recently? I think they went and beat the Cavs recently in Cleveland as well. They're playing some really good ball at the moment, sitting 4th in the Western Conference. And, of course, I forgot to mention, how could I forget? LeBron James is back for the Lakers, and they are looking pretty bloody hot at the moment. Won 4 in a row, 8-2 in their last 10, sitting 3rd in the Western Conference. They will definitely be there in amongst it come playoff time, I think. Whether they can actually make a run for it against a team like Denver or OKC, even the Rockets, I'm not quite sure. But one of the surprise teams for me so far this year is actually the Phoenix Suns. Sitting 11-7, they are 8-3 at home this year, playing some really good ball at home this year. And just overall playing some good ball. They lost, I think it was yesterday, but they are now 8-2 in the last 10. So they're on an 8-1 run at the moment. So playing some good ball, but the Western Conference isn't really looking too pretty at the moment. Like, you have sort of, I think, 4 or 5 good teams, 3 okay teams, and then the other sort of 6 are pretty bloody ordinary, in my opinion. The Spurs are still without Victor Wembanyama. He's been out a couple weeks now. Calf strain, could be another week on top of that. He's not featured in the MVP odds really anymore at all, considering where he was at the start of the year. They are sort of still coping without him, 6-4 in the last 10, sitting 5th in the Western Conference. So they are still managing without him, but he's such a key part of the Spurs team. They need him back pretty badly, but they will not be rushing him back at all. Still early in the season. A guy like that, his height, if he has one injury, it could just lead to multiple injuries, considering just how big his body is and how lengthy and lanky his body is. They cannot afford for him to go down any more longer, in my opinion. All right, let's cross into a bit of NHL chat, and then we'll finish it off quickly with some NFL chat here for your Global Sports Roundup. The NHL, last week we talked about the Boston Bruins were flying pretty high at the top of the Atlantic Conference. They have now since they have lost a few games, 6-4 in the last 10 now. They lost, I think it was yesterday, to the Sharks, San Jose Sharks. They're now sitting 4th in the division now. Don't get me wrong, the comp at the moment is sitting super tight at the moment. Like, if I look at the Atlantic Division, there is 4 points between 1st and 6th. If I look at the Metro, there is 5 points between 1st and 6th in that division. If I look at the Atlantic Division, there's 3 points between first and sixth. If I look at the Metro Division, there's 5 points between first and seventh in the division. Very, very tight competition at the moment. Like, the Rangers are last in the Metro Division at the moment at 24 points. But that's good enough to be beating a lot of these teams in, like, the Eastern Conference. So they're, like, the top of the Eastern Conference is, there's third in the Eastern Conference is on 24 points. Yet, so the Western Conference, but the Rangers are on 24, coming, like, third last in the conference. In the East, sorry. Excuse me. What am I looking at here? Let me scratch that again. I have like last week's sort of standings and now this week's sort of standings. It's still a very, very sort of tight competition at the moment there. Let's look at the Western Conference. If I said, excuse me, absolutely nowhere. Scratch what I just said before. Very still tight in the Atlantic Division at the moment. So as I said, it's still 3 points separating first and sixth, and then 5 points separating first and fifth in the Metro, even first and seventh. Excuse me. If I look at the Western, holy dooly, the Colorado Avalanche are killing opponents at the moment. 8-0-2 in the last 10 games at the moment. They are not losing in regulation at the moment. They have won 6 in a row. They think they've shut out 2 games in a row now as well. Scott Wedgwood, their goaltender, is on fire at the moment. Absolutely killing teams. They've had wins of, I think it's 3-0 and 1-0. Really good wins at the moment. Teams like Chicago Blackhawks are consistently staying up there. Good thing is the Anaheim Ducks are still atop of the Pacific Division. Would you bloody believe it? A lot of people's sort of pet fave at the start of the year to do really well, and they're proving just that. Scoring a lot of goals, goaltending's pretty good, 7-3 in the last 10. Just sort of keep winning. They're bouncing back after losses. You think they're going to fade, and they keep bouncing back, which is really cool to see. Sitting on 29 points, as I said, atop the Pacific. Seattle Kraken as well. A lot of people thought the Seattle Kraken would be pretty disappointing this year. Sorry, the Avs have won 9 in a row. I've got to start looking at the now thing. It's really not good. But Seattle Kraken sitting second in the Pacific at the moment. Really, really good to see for the Kraken. Can they keep it up? I'm not so sure. A team like the Blackhawks, they've actually lost 3 in a row. They're sort of struggling to fade. They're a bit banged up at the moment. But couple sort of teams that you sort of expecting starting to fade. Your Blues, your Predators. Canucks a bit surprising. They're not doing too well. Flames. The Oilers, they're still struggling at the moment. I get it. They're only 4 points off the top of the division. They'll probably click at some stage throughout the season. This Pacific Division is so bloody tight at the moment. It's 4 points between first and sixth in that division at the moment. So super tight at the moment. They're 1 win from literally going like first to third or fourth in that division there, going on a little run. They just had their revenge against the Stanley Cup champs, the Panthers, who they've lost to in the last 2 years in the finals there. So I still expect the Oilers to be there amongst it near the end of the season, but a guy like Nathan McKinnon for the Avalanche is just absolutely destroying teams at the moment. Still leading the goals at the moment there in the points, 17 goals at the moment in the league, tied with Morgan Geekie from the Bruins, but 37 points, so he's had 20 assists to go with that as well. Absolutely destroying it at the moment. And the big thing for Colorado is Scott Wedgwood. As I said, he is the second best goaltender in the league at the moment with the second best average, just over 2.2 goals conceded a game. Really good to see. Nathan McKinnon also has the best plus minus as well in the league, and Scott Wedgwood has the most wins for a goalie in the league as well at the moment. So Avalanche, they're probably easily my pick at the moment to win it. Very early pick. They're favorites at the moment, but no one is really stopping the Avalanche at the moment. In the past couple seasons, their massive problem has been goaltending, and they've finally got a goalie, Scott Wedgwood, to finally fill that hole, and they're now getting the reward, reaping the rewards from that, which is really good to see. As I said, now winning 9 in a row, have not lost in regulation this year, which is crazy to see. So they've lost 1 game in regulation. They've lost 5 games in OT, which I find super interesting, but a plus 38 goal difference at the moment. they are destroying teams at the moment. And same with the Dallas Stars, same with the Wild as well, playing really good hockey at the moment, which is really good to see. All right, let's chat quickly about NFL because we're sort of getting into the pointy end of the league at the moment in the regular season. So, the Rams, I spoke about this in a reel today. They keep on keeping on. They are 9-2 at the moment, top of the Eastern Conference. They are absolutely destroying teams at the moment. Matthew Stafford is on fire at the moment. He is not letting down. I think he's thrown 2 interceptions all year. Brock Purdy threw more interceptions in one half of football today than Matthew Stafford has in the whole season. They're sitting at 9-2 for the season, 6 in a row. Matthew Stafford, a clear favourite for MVP at the moment. I think $1.40 I saw this morning. They could be joined by the Eagles, who had a surprising loss on the weekend, up 21-0 against the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas and lose in a walk-off field goal, 24-21. Absolutely capitulated. I think their offense is under huge pressure. They looked so good in that first half and they just completely died. And it's like, why are they dying? I just don't understand. They sort of keep winning games, but now they finally got caught out and losing that game there. So it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back 8-3 against the 8-3 Bears this weekend. Going to be very intriguing to see. That's on Saturday morning here in Australia, actually. The Bears 8-3. Can you bloody believe it? Unreal. They have won 4 in a row now at the moment by pretty thin margins as well. I think easily under 10 points aggregate from those 4 wins there. A team like Seattle is still playing really well. Green Bay bounced back. San Fran had a somewhat okay win against my Panthers today. My Panthers had a chance, today to go to the top of the NFC South, and we didn't play well, which is a shame to see. And now we have a brutal schedule coming home. We played the Rams this week in Week 13. We still have to play the Buccaneers twice, who may be without Baker Mayfield. We'll see. Who else do we play? I think we play someone else really tough. I think we play Seattle still as well. So 4 games still really tough. We have a bye, and we also play the Saints. But man, we're going to have to play some good football coming in to make the playoffs. Our only hope is winning the division, and the only hope is if Baker Mayfield is out for the season. They've got Teddy Bridgewater backing up for them, but the NFC North is pretty loaded at the moment. You've got 8-3 Bears, 7-3-1 Packers, and 7-4 Lions. Looks like the Vikings are all but done now. I do not rate JJ McCarthy. He's been playing some pretty disgusting quarterback play at the moment. Your Giants are dead. Commanders are dead, 3-8. Looking like the Eagles will be the first team in the NFC East to defend their title in the division for a very long time. I get it. Cowboys are 5-5-1. They are still 3 games behind the Eagles in that division there. NFC West is looking pretty hot as well at the moment. Rams 9-2, Seattle 8-3, San Francisco 8-4. Arizona is pretty dead. AFC East, New England Patriots 10-2, the first team to reach 10 wins this season. And can you believe they've won 9 in a row? They were sitting at 1-2 to start the season with a loss against the Raiders in week 1 and a loss against the Steelers, both at home. Can you believe it? Absolutely insane what they're doing. Drake May playing some really good ball at the moment. Had a pretty solidish win against the Bengals on the weekend. Speaking of Bengals, Joey Burrow is back this week against the Ravens on Thanksgiving. Going to be good to see. Slight of chances to still win the division potentially, but Baltimore has now gone atop of the AFC North at 6-5 there with the Steelers as well. They're yet to play each other. Ravens have won 5 in a row now. Lamar has been back for 4 games as they've won 4. I think he's playing injured at the moment, though, I reckon. It'd be interesting to see how he goes this week on a little bit of a shorter week as well with Thanksgiving. They had a pretty scratchy win against the Jets. Very, very scratchy win. So they've got a big game this week against the Bengals, and the Steelers have a big game against... who are they playing against? Sorry, that's just completely boggled my mind. I'm so sorry who the Steelers... Oh, they're playing the Bills, excuse me. Sorry, so... I expect the Bills to bounce back after that loss against the Texans on a bit of a mini bye as well from Thursday Night Football. AFC South, Indianapolis Colts had a loss in overtime against the Chiefs to go to 9-2. Now see at 8-3 now. 1 win ahead of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who had a good win against Arizona. And this team was my little sneaky pick at the start of the season to do well. The Houston Texans now won 3 in a row with Davis Mills. 3 good wins as well, sitting at 6-5. Are they a sneaky chance of making the playoffs? We'll see. They've got a massive game against the Colts this week. If they win that one, they go to 7-5. Colts drop to 8-4. If Jacksonville lose this weekend, I forget who Jacksonville is playing as well. Excuse me. If they go to 7-5, man, it makes that division very interesting there. Tennessee obviously sucking at 1-10. AFC West, what a pretty loaded division, I'd say, apart from the Raiders, who stink. They've lost 5 in a row. Fired the offensive coordinator today, Chip Kelly. Broncos sitting atop, still 9-2, winning 8 in a row. They now go play the Commanders in prime time this week. Then you've got the Chargers at 7-4. They lost. They had a bye. They lost a week before, got spanked against Jacksonville. They are looking for a big win against the Raiders this week. And then the Chiefs sitting 6-5. Massive comeback win against the Colts on the weekend. They looked dead and buried, in my opinion. If I was to look at the wild card at the moment, they are sitting, it says 10th in the AFC at the moment. The Bills are 7-4, sitting in the 7th, right? So top 7 teams make the playoffs. Bills 7-4, sitting in 7th. Bills do have that tiebreaker against the Chiefs as well. So do Jacksonville as well at 7-4, and so do the Chargers as well at 7-4. So I almost think Chiefs have to almost win in to pretty much get into the playoffs. Maybe allowed to drop one more game. The big thing for the Chargers is the Chiefs is they definitely have to go and beat Denver, and they definitely have to go and beat the Chargers for sure in their last remaining games. Definitely have to beat Dallas this weekend 100%. They just got to keep winning, man. They just got to keep winning. Otherwise, they're pretty much in trouble. But I can see the Steelers fading off. I can't see the Steelers doing too much. And you just never know what the Texans can do, honestly. I don't think Jacksonville is an amazing team. I get it. They beat the Chiefs early in the season. Had a big win against the Chargers a couple weeks ago. I just don't believe in Trevor Lawrence. I don't know what it is. I think the Bills will be in the playoffs there. It's looking like Chiefs or Bills will be playing like the Ravens or something in the playoffs, which is going to be epic in the first week. Maybe even like Chiefs at Broncos or something. Going to be an epic first weekend of the wild card. But very interesting to see how the NFL is lining up with 6 weeks to go in the regular season. But that will have to do it for this episode of this Skooshi Sport podcast. What a long episode it was, covering a lot of sports this week. What do we cover? Obviously, my women's part of the week. Massive shout again to Gino Thidikul from Thailand, winning the CME Group Tour Championship back-to-back as well. World #1 player in the world. Covered our last remaining games of the rugby season. And obviously covered the Ashes as well to start the 5-test series. Cannot wait for the rest of it. Covered the rest of the darts as well. Reviewed Luke Littler winning yet again. Shocker. And reviewed our American sports, NBA, our ice hockey, and the NFL as well. But that will do it for this episode of the Skooshi Sport podcast. As I said, make sure to smash that like button. Literally take 0.048 seconds to smash it. Helps so much to build my channel earlier. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to follow all my socials at Skooshi Sports, SKOOSHI Sports as well, for all your daily reels, that sort of thing. As I said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for tomorrow for the Red Zone Report, Week 13 edition, my NFL weekly preview. That will do it this week for the Skooshi Sports Report, the Global Sports Roundup, and cheers.